that burnout is no longer rare. It's widespread and it's really quite embedded in the culture of law. But I think, many are still suffering in silence. It's great that so many are coming forward and putting their hand up and are being open about their struggles. But I think there are still quite a lot suffering in silence. And obviously, we want to get to a point where burnout just isn't a thing at all. I think the stigma around mental health is slowly shifting. There's still a bit of a fear about being seen as weak and being able to sort of say, I'm not okay. But I definitely think we've just made such strides in that area, which is absolutely incredible. I think one slightly worrying trend that I'm sort of seeing anecdotally is more burnout happening earlier in legal careers. Associates and trainees are experiencing chronic stress, and they're just too junior really to have the full toolkit or being able to sort of have the space to kind of recover. And I see that in business services teams as well. So that's definitely something that I'm seeing a shift towards. But on the positive side, firms are doing so much more about well-being. There's often a gap though between awareness and action. And whilst we've got loads of policies now in place, which is really, really great, I think in some place maybe the culture hasn't quite caught up. But that's definitely coming. I think the other trend that I'm seeing as well is that we're really redefining some of the terms that we probably grew up with. And I think in particular, terms like resilience, that was about, pushing through and, stiff upper lip kind of mentality. But really, we now talk about energy resilience and managing capacity, regulating stress, building in recovery and protecting what really fuels you. And I just don't think, talking about recovery as part of resilience was something we had in our lexicon, back in the day. So I think there's a lot of really positive things happening. But as I say, burnout is probably more prevalent than it was. And, we've got much work to do before we've really solved that puzzle.